It costs less than $1. You've seen it on the shelf 100 times. You've used it for cleaning, maybe baking, but never for healing. Not for your gut, not for your joints, not for your sleep. And yet, this humble white powder may hold more healing power than most medicine cabinets. Why hasn't anyone told you? Because it's too simple, too cheap, too effective for its own fame. Tonight, we ask a different question. What if one spoonful before bed could soften inflammation, support your kidneys, and bring your body back into quiet balance? He never missed a night. After dinner, before bed, he'd take out a spoon, fill a glass with water, and stir in something white. Baking soda. I used to laugh. Grandpa, that stuff's for cleaning, not curing. He'd smile and say, some things don't need a label to work. He was never plagued by heartburn. His joints moved steady, well into his 80s. And when I finally asked him why, he just said, keeps the fire out. Years later, as a clinical physiologist, I started seeing the research. pH buffering, inflammation modulation, kidney support. Things modern science is only now catching up to. That simple nighttime ritual? It wasn't folk wisdom. It was cellular logic in disguise. And tonight, I'll walk you through the science. So, maybe you'll look at that old kitchen staple a little differently too. 1. The forgotten power of a spoonful. Heartburn never knocks loudly. It rises slowly, like heat climbing your chest as you lie still, trying to sleep. For many, it's become part of the night. Expected. Unavoidable. But what if relief didn't come from a pill, but from a spoonful of quiet science? Sodium bicarbonate, what we call baking soda, isn't just for baking, it's alkaline, which means when it enters your acidic stomach, it neutralizes excess acid, restoring a balance your body has been trying to find all day. Think of it like this. Baking soda is a peace offering to your gut. It doesn't fight the fire, it absorbs it. Here's how it works. Acid reflux often occurs when the lower esophageal sphincter, LES, the valve between your stomach and esophagus, relaxes at the wrong time. Acid slips upward, burning tissue not designed to handle it. But when baking soda meets stomach acid, it forms carbonic acid, which quickly breaks down into carbon dioxide and water. A chemical reaction that calms the storm within seconds. A 2022 study published in BMJ Open Gastroenterology found that participants who consumed bicarbonate-rich mineral water experienced significant reductions in heartburn symptoms compared to those given a placebo. That's not just chemistry, that's evidence. Nightly ritual to try. Mix 1/2 teaspoon, about 2.5 grams, baking soda in 6 to 8 ounces of room temperature water. Stir until fully dissolved. Drink 1 to 2 hours after your last meal, just before bed. Do this no more than 3 nights a week, unless advised by a professional. It's not meant to replace treatment for chronic reflux or GERD, but for mild, occasional heartburn, it might give your body the calm it's been asking for. More importantly, it reminds you that healing doesn't have to be complex. Sometimes it begins when you give your body just one less thing to battle. So let me ask you, what's the one discomfort you've learned to accept at night? And is it possible the answer has been sitting in your pantry all along? 2. How muscles recover while you sleep. It's late. Your muscles ache from the day. A long walk, a garden you tended, stairs you didn't notice, or maybe you pushed hard at the gym, and now your body hums with soreness beneath the skin. But soreness isn't just about movement. It's about acid. Every time you challenge your muscles, they produce hydrogen ions, tiny, invisible messengers that make your internal environment more acidic. This drop in pH is what causes fatigue, stiffness, that slow burn that lingers. Here's where baking soda enters, not as a food, but as a cellular buffer. Think of it like this. Your muscles are trying to exhale after a hard day. Baking soda helps them breathe. Sodium bicarbonate works by neutralizing hydrogen ions, bringing your internal pH back into a range where cells can repair and regenerate. This buffering doesn't just reduce pain, it may speed up recovery and prep your body for the next day's movement. A 2019 study in Frontiers in Nutrition confirmed this. Athletes who took baking soda during their recovery window had higher blood bicarbonate concentrations, improved acid-base balance, enhanced muscle performance in follow-up sessions, It wasn't just about feeling less sore, it was about creating an environment where muscles could rebuild better. Ritual to try, post-exercise. Evening buffer after intense activity, workout, hike, long labor. Wait 1 to 2 hours after your last meal. Dissolve 1/2 teaspoon baking soda in water. Sip slowly before bed, not on a full stomach. Use only on training or exertion days, not daily. Pair this with gentle stretching, magnesium-rich foods, pumpkin seeds, leafy greens, breath work, 5-minute diaphragmatic breathing. This isn't about shortcuts. It's about recovery that's supported, not rushed. Because while soreness fades, inflammation lingers. Unless we give the body what it needs to reset. So tonight, ask your muscles, do you need more effort or just more kindness? 3. Support for kidneys in their quietest hour. Your kidneys never sleep. Even as you rest, they filter. Quietly, tirelessly, they balance fluids, hormones, minerals, and help maintain the very chemistry of life. But over time, especially with age or underlying health conditions, this delicate filtering system can struggle to keep up. One of the earliest signs? A silent drift in the body's acid-base balance, what science calls mild metabolic acidosis. This happens when acid builds up faster than the kidneys can remove it. And over months or years, this imbalance can slowly accelerate kidney decline. That's where baking soda comes in. Not as a treatment, but as support. Like giving the kidneys a second wind when they're quietly tired. Here's the science. Sodium bicarbonate, when taken in proper doses, can help buffer excess acid in the blood, easing the workload on the kidneys. It essentially buys time, slowing the pace of deterioration in people with early-stage kidney dysfunction. A 2021 Frontiers in Pharmacology meta-analysis found that CKD patients who took oral sodium bicarbonate had higher blood bicarbonate levels, slower decline in eGFR, a key marker of kidney function. Improved vascular health, which often deteriorates in tandem with kidneys. This isn't theory, it's physiology. And while this should always be discussed with a doctor, especially for those with chronic kidney disease, the potential is compelling. Ritual to try, restorative nights for at-risk individuals. Use 1/2 teaspoon baking soda in 6 to 8 ounces of water, 2 to 3 times per week. Only after clearance from your healthcare provider. Drink it 90 minutes after dinner, before bed. Avoid combining with high-sodium foods or medications that increase blood pressure. Pair with hydration throughout the day. Lower protein intake if advised, less acid production. Mindful breathing to support oxygenation and filtration because the kidneys won't complain. They'll just keep working until they can't. And sometimes all they need is for you to listen earlier. So, tonight, ask quietly, are my kidneys filtering more than just what I drank, but also what I forgot to care for? 4. Relieving inflammation from the inside out. Inflammation doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's a slow tightening in your joints, a stiffness that lingers, a quiet pressure behind your eyes or in your chest, the kind you learn to live with until you can't. But what if you could gently dial that inflammation down? Not with force, but with a shift in how your immune system listens. Sodium bicarbonate, yes, the same baking soda in your pantry, may do more than settle your stomach. It might also whisper to your immune system, calming the overactive parts that keep pain on repeat. Here's how. Your body houses 2 types of immune cells called macrophages. M1, pro-inflammatory, defenders, warriors. M2, anti-inflammatory, repairers, rebuilders. In chronic inflammatory conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, asthma, even aging-related joint pain. M1s take over. They stay active long after they're needed, creating pain, swelling, and tissue fatigue. But sodium bicarbonate may shift that balance. A study published in the Journal of Immunology found that when healthy adults consumed baking soda in water, their spleen, the body's immune command center, began producing more M2 cells and fewer M1 cells. It was as if the body heard, "You don't need to fight anymore. It's time to heal." This change was measurable. It wasn't dramatic, but it was consistent. And that's the power of gentle medicine. Ritual to try, immune reset, 2-week protocol. Half teaspoon baking soda in water on alternate nights, before bed. Continue for 2 full weeks, then pause and reflect. Observe changes in joint stiffness, sleep quality, and general calmness. Pair with omega-3 rich meals, salmon, flaxseed, walnuts, turmeric, plus black pepper and warm tea. Daily stretching or walking to help mobilize fluid. This isn't a replacement for medical treatment, but it may amplify the body's willingness to come out of defense mode, because chronic inflammation isn't always a disease. Sometimes it's just an immune system stuck in a story it never finished. So tonight, before bed, ask, what's still inflamed in me, not because of what I did today, but because I haven't yet told my body it's safe to let go? 5. Who should skip the sip? Natural doesn't mean universal. And even the gentlest remedy, when used without awareness, can press the wrong buttons in the wrong bodies. Baking soda is simple, but your body is not. Let's be clear. This isn't to scare you, it's to protect you. Because sodium bicarbonate changes fluid balance, electrolyte ratios, and pH buffering, all of which are connected to your heart, kidneys, blood vessels, and hormonal regulation. Think of your internal systems like a team of musicians. When one section, like sodium levels, plays too loud, the harmony falters. Groups who should avoid or consult. Before use, people with high blood pressure. Baking soda adds sodium. Even small amounts can elevate blood pressure or cause water retention. Heart conditions, especially congestive heart failure, increased fluid volume and sodium load can burden the heart. May worsen symptoms like swelling, fatigue, breathlessness. Sodium-restricted diets or diuretics use can interfere with medications, leading to potassium-sodium imbalances. Pregnant women. Risk of fluid retention, elevated blood pressure, and altered digestion should only be used under direct medical advice. GI-sensitive individuals, bloating, gas. Baking soda reacts with stomach acid, producing CO2 gas, may cause discomfort, bloating, or burping, especially in sensitive stomachs. Symptoms to watch if taken. Too often, muscle cramps, irregular heartbeat, weakness or fatigue, bloating or gas. Confusion or nausea, severe alkalosis. Safety ritual, if you're unsure, start with 1/4 teaspoon in 8 ounces water. Wait 24 to 48 hours. Monitor for swelling, digestive changes, blood pressure shifts. Only increase to 1/2 teaspoon if no side effects appear. Never use more than 3 times a week unless medically cleared, because even healing requires discernment. Your body isn't just a container, it's a chemistry lab, a filtration system, a network of feedback loops. So, ask softly, not fearfully, is this the right time and the right method for my unique body to receive this? Healing begins with listening, not only to your hopes, but to your limits. You've tried so many things, pills, stretching routines, maybe even surgery. But what if your body doesn't always need more intervention? What if, some nights, it just needs less interruption? A spoon, a sip, a pause before bed. Not to fix everything, but to offer a moment of alignment. When chemistry meets calm, when inflammation hears silence, when your kidneys filter more gently, and your immune system takes a breath. Baking soda isn't a miracle, but it's a reminder. That healing can be humble, that your body has been trying to balance itself long before you read articles or bought supplements, and that maybe, just maybe, this quiet little ritual was your body's idea all along. Try this. Choose 3 nights a week. Wait 90 minutes after dinner. Dissolve 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda in room temperature water. Sip slowly. Track your sleep, digestion, joint pain, urination, or general energy. Don't expect fireworks. Look for subtle quiet. Sometimes that's where healing hides. Have you ever tried baking soda water at night? What shifted for you? Sleep, swelling, reflux, mood? Comment below. Your story could guide someone else into gentler choices. Even a sentence matters. In our families, we often pass down habits, some helpful, some harmful. But the rituals that bring restoration, they deserve to be remembered. You don't need a revolution. You need a rhythm, a quiet one, held in a glass. That says to your body, you've done enough for today. Let me help now.